Hi guys, welcome to MELS Media Education Learning Simpler, a powerhouse for everything pertaining to academics in the field of media and communications. This is a special series of snippets based on the UGC NET Examination. Let's proceed with today's video. This topic talks about being a teacher in the simplest terms, right from A to Z of being a teacher. What are the different tools? What are the different practices? What are the different factors that affect teaching and everything and anything that is pertaining to teaching? Now we move to the factors that affect teaching. So as I had mentioned, teaching is a two-way process. There at least need to be two parties there or two individuals there in order to complete the process of teaching. At least one teacher and one student have to be there. After that, there can be more. Generally, in one class or one situation, you will only find one teacher. Number of students may go up to a certain number. But apart from that, you will not, very rare situations, you will find two or three teachers in the same class at the same time. Whenever there is a teaching process happening, there are certain factors which affect the entire process. Some of these factors emanate from the teacher, some of these come from the learner, and some of these are the environmental factors which are not in the hands of the teacher or the student. So what are these factors? First is, for any teacher, the educational qualification. The whatever qualification that teacher has does matter, because it is very important that someone who has received a mastery, I will not say master's degree particularly, but a mastery in a certain field, approved or credited by some authority, some organization, some board, university, whatever, proves his or her capability to teach something. Hence, educational qualification of the teacher is important. Then is skill. So teaching talent is also important. As I had mentioned earlier, to be able to teach is also a very important factor. It is not possible for everyone, let's say with a master's degree, or for that matter, with for everyone with a PhD degree also, to teach, as we know. So teaching skills are very important, and just because you have a high degree or you have been certified in a certain course, certain way, is not necessary that you can teach. So you need to have the right connect with your students, and you need to be able to put your material in front of them very effectively. In skills, what are the important points that we need to remember? Communication skills for better involvement and engagement. Use of teaching aids effectively. What are teaching aids? Those tools which help us to teach. Let's say blackboard, chalk, duster. These are old, or you can say traditional tools of teaching. Nowadays you have computer systems, projectors, microphones, podiums in class. These are new aids of teaching, whatever you may understand. So teaching aids need to be used effectively by the teacher. Third is selection of teaching method appropriate. There are different methods of teaching. I can name some. There is a lecture method, there is an observation method, there is a presentation method also, I guess. You as a teacher need to select which topic can be taught in which possible manner. Then is passion for teaching. This has to come from within. You need to develop that passion where you are from inside motivated enough or willing enough to give your 100% and to make people educated or learned or trained in a particular manner. If you do not have a passion and you are just taking up something for a job, as a job, teaching will never be successful. And human relation skills to act as a best guide or mentor. Sometimes the role of a teacher goes beyond teaching a particular subject just, and you have to, obviously all of us have some or the other teacher throughout, from our early school days till our masters, one teacher at least whom we idealize or whom we have a good connection with or whom we look up to some way or the other. So that being that teacher is a goal every teacher should follow, because teacher's traditional role goes beyond from being only a subject teacher to someone who has to be a guide or a mentor. Then comes experience. Obviously, with experience, you learn a lot of things. Like right now, if I like you guys are my first batch, so there are certain ways I'm teaching you people this entire course in. 5 years later, if at all I'm again teaching a UGC NET batch, I will not follow the same methods exactly, right? There will be certain changes. There can be changes for good, for bad, whatever. But my experience will help me note what is it that I had done and whether it was the right thing, whether it was the wrong thing, what is it that I should do now. So that is a part of experience. It comes with time. That is what it is. And then subject matter. Obviously, I may have a master's degree, I may be net qualified, but there may be a certain subject or a certain area which I'm not qualified to teach. Let's say photography. I can sit here and say I cannot teach photography, anything related to camera to anyone. Some place or the other, every person has where you are not an expert. And so, as a teacher, you need to select those areas to teach for which you have a good knowledge. You are passionate about the subject. Then factors affecting teaching coming from a learner. How can a learner affect the entire teaching process? Learner is most effective when the difference in learners' language, cultural and social behaviors are taken into account, and it's necessary to take note of intelligence, ethnic group, race, belief and socioeconomic status of the learners, which can influence the teaching in the classroom. That means everything, right from your cultural backgrounds, right from your languages, these things, languages, culture, social behaviors, then your level of intelligence, race, belief, socioeconomic status, everything, they influence teaching in a class. They influence learning from the learner's point of view because he or she is surrounded by others whom he or she does not know initially. So you are skeptical of them. You don't know what they will think, what they will react, what kind of things they will talk about, whether I will be able to fit in or not, etc. 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 So these things exist. Then comes every individual is different with others in terms of physical, social, and cultural orientation. These aspects make learner different from one another. So you guys, for you, all the 38 other students of the class held different values, held different, you had a different kind of relation with all those 38 students. So your understanding is affected by or created by or influenced by how you take all others who are part of that process or part of that system. Lastly, it also depends on the interests of the learner, including the aptitude, attitude, motivation, mental health, aspiration towards goal of life. If there is a certain subject, you know you don't have to do anything in the line of this subject, you will not pay attention. Then there is a teacher that you have had a fight or any sort of beef with that teacher, you will not pay attention to the subject because you don't like whatever it may be. So your mental health, your particular family situation, friend situation, relationship situation, anything may be affecting how you are attending a class or paying attention or not. So these things also affect a learner and in turn the entire teaching process. If you found this video helpful, do hit the like button and share with your friends. For any doubts and your feedback, reach out to me in the comment section. For UGC NET online tutorials, follow the instructions given in the description section. Hope to see you soon with the next one. Thank you.